It's an illusion. They tell you, here's $250. Just go to the mall. Everything will be okay. I know I have one good friend here who is an economist, but that's their plan. That's their economic plan, is go to the mall. Here's some money and go to the mall. We know as individuals that doesn't work. We know as a country, ultimately, we will pay a price. I think we're very close to that point where we will pay a price if we don't get our government under control. Americans are waking up to this. That's what the Tea Party movement's about. It's what's propelling our campaign forward. When I'm elected, I like the sound of that. When I am elected, I will not vote for any budget that's not balanced, Republican or Democrat. You won't find many politicians who will say that. We've had years when Republicans were in charge when the deficit got worse. I think our party is a great party. I think our platform is a great platform, but we have to stick to our platform. We have to believe in something, and it's not just enough to have an R next to your name unless you believe in something. Yeah. The problems in Washington, the pork barrel spending that goes on and on, is directly related to the career politicians. I believe that we will only get our government back, that we will only reform the system if we limit all of their terms. Here in Frankfort, we do some things well. One of the things we do well is that we have a constitution in Kentucky that forbids deficit spending. At the end of the day, in Kentucky, Republicans and Democrats fight like cats and dogs, but they have to balance their budget. Contrast that with California. We're going to be paying taxes in Kentucky to bail out California before long.
California.
In Washington, they have a printing press. We don't have that in Kentucky. So there are some good things we have in Kentucky that maybe we need to take some of these Kentucky values to Washington. I will introduce term limits. I will introduce a balanced budget amendment. These are ideas that have been out there for a while, and some say to me, oh, it's never going to happen. It's going to happen if we rise up as a people, and if there is a national movement that we can get going, it will happen. We have to try. We cannot give up on our country. We have to fight for this. But we have to have rules. I don't think you can elect enough good people. I hope I'll be one of the good people. But you can't probably even elect enough good people unless you have rules. We should obey the Constitution. We should add a few new rules, term limits and a balanced budget amendment. As each bill comes forward, when I'm elected, at the appropriations bills, and if we're 20% over budget, I will amend every appropriations bill to reduce it by 20%. Now some say, well, that's pretty harsh. If we don't do it, no one will. You get these middle-of-the-road, bland career politicians. They just want the office. They want it for the rest of their life. They think it's owed to them. They think they've inherited the office. We need someone who's a citizen, someone who will go, try very hard to change, and if I can't do it, I come back and you do it. The next guy does it. But you don't want somebody who goes for 50 years and just becomes part of the same good old boy system that has bankrupted our country. We stand at a crossroads. We are being consumed by debt in this country. I think it is very, very serious, and I am very, very worried, or I wouldn't do this. We have to get our country back under control. I think we can do it. The movement is big. The movement is large. You here are part of that movement, and you are what make it possible for me. We are well funded. We're doing well in the polls. We have limitless resources of volunteers like yourself who have been knocking on doors for the last 6 months. The other side won't even dream of it for a few months, and our people have voluntarily been knocking on doors for months. We have a catalyst, we have a movement, we have something the other side cannot dream of. I thank you very much for coming out today, and I hope you will join me in taking back this great nation.